Once upon a time, there was a man who had courage and beauty, and his name was Agamemnon.
Oh.
And
I'm confused what story we're telling right now. Did he use the force though?
I mean, I don't know. I got my coffee though. That's what I do know.
I got water.
I got
cardio.
I got water.
Water scrubs.
Someone told me my body needs it.
I mean, they do though.
Yeah, it's like made of it, but also you're like constantly losing it, so you gotta replenish, man.
That's crazy.
You're like,
I was 32 years old when I found it.
Man, survived by juice this whole time.
What you mean I gotta drink water? Dude, I'm like 70% water. I don't gotta drink nothing. I'm good.
In fact, I could probably give you some water.
Man gives all his water.
Man on the street giving all of water away.
Gross.
You want my Oregon water, sir? It's free. Barely used.
I'm just gonna salivate myself to death.
It's like this is like a subplot in Dune. Not a good one. Not a good subplot.
Welcome to the A4NB4Y podcast, the Zelda-themed podcast where we go chapter by chapter through Legend of Zelda games. And the game we're covering is the Minish Cap. Last time we just climbed a mountain, which seemed like forever, hiking up it, and now we're inside the mountain. And we're talking to the Mountain Minish, and we're going to be jamming with them. You want to know why? Because they got a cool song. It ting along, tong along, dig along for iron, tong along, ting tong, dig down, dig around, dig the ground for iron. And with me, as always, is my co-hosts.
Ting along, tong along. I'm Ryan Fonzie, and I'm digging for iron.
I'm Cameron Hagee, and I'm a sour belt that's just the right amount of sour.
A sour melt? Is that what
belt.
You said?
Like sour belt candy.
Sour belt
like
candy.
the long, thin, sour candies.
You did say belt. Okay. I wasn't familiar. Like, I did not remember the candy when you said it. And I was like, there's no way he said belt.
I ain't never heard of sour belt candy, but I heard of iron belts.
Okay.
They're easier to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Iron belts be chewy.
We getting into the mine now. Oh.
No, I just wanted to start the episode out like singing that song because that was the best thing that happened when we get into the mine and you start like chatting with the local residents as they all start singing this song, the mining song, and it's just great. And I love how I think it's like the first guy you talk to, or maybe it could be the second guy, but it's like one of the first few guys in there. He's like, the Ting Tong song can only be sung only by full-grown mountain men. It warms the heart, doesn't it? Fills you with energy. Try singing around. Like, excuse me.
Oh man, it's like a ritual.
Full-grown mountain men.
Right. Which
I'm like, y'all are
not.
like, I'm 12, and you're all like 1 centimeter tall creatures.
In their own culture, them's the strong ones.
Mm-hmm.
Ting along, tong along. That's all the things. I do love their song, the Ting Tong song, as online sources call it. It is
Which is
all about
assuming
being.
it's just like when you're mining the wall, that's the sound that makes when you're mining is ting and tong.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because like clearly they're just after the iron. Like this is a culture of smiths. So they make weaponry. I don't know who for. I don't know if the Minish have like an army. But
That'd be
they
pretty
have
funny.
a forge. so
I
there's
love
that.
this think that like they're just crafting these weapons and then they go to one of those portals that make things big, and so they just like randomly like make this giant sword, and like they make a sword giant, and then like some random humans like, whoa, look, a sword. And then he like walks down that path again like the next day, and he's like, there's another sword in the same spot on this stump. I'm confused.
They just gift them to people.
Yeah, it's the sword dispensary stump.
Oh no!
You know,
Keep the
That's where
kids
the
away from the sword dispensary stump.
it
That's
used to be a sword.
you tell your
trade,
children.
Chopped it down.
Oh no!
Sprouts one sword at a time ever since.
It's haunted. It just spawns swords.
Yeah, but we're here. We're in this mine with Malari and his 7 apprentices. The top 2 apprentices get to work with him on swords, and the rest are miners. Which I'm not sure if that's supposed to help them become better smiths. If they're all like gaining in their strength or what. But if you go to any of the side rooms in this place, it's like 7 beds, 7 chairs around every table. Even though there's 8 people living in this cave, I don't know if that was just an oversight. I don't know where Malari sleeps and eats, but apparently
Doesn't sleep.
not with his apprentices. So, there's
He
that.
uses the forge as a pillow.
He
Sleeps down there in the middle room. It's a real man.
Like a hardcore man.
I crushed a lot of new swords on this anvil here. Now it's my pillow. So soft.
And I think there's also another one we can find that they just tell us to, if we want to find the boss, they're down at the lowest level, which also happens to be where the forge is.
Right. Yeah. So when you are outside of this place, just real quick, I guess, there's no roof. Like you can actually just kind of look at it, and it's a square that's all dug out into different layers. It's basically like a big quarry of a mine, except it's small. It's Minish size. But yeah, the forge is at the bottom of this whole dugout area. And we go talk to Malari, and he immediately offers to fix the sword. Him and his top 2 guys, if you go talk to them, they're very conscious of who's the second best and who's the third best smith among the Minish. Okay, so we have Mayo putting Mountain Minish pictures in the chat. I'm wondering if he wants to share something about them.
No, I was just for side by side comparison. They look a little different,
Just for
in the
reference.
forest Minish.
Yes, they definitely are
vibe,
not
though.
forest Minish. These are heavily disciplined, trained mountain Minish. Very particular set of skills, involves swinging tools
And one hearty song.
and one hearty song.
I love this one.
But the one thing that the Malari says is that this sword's going to take a little while to finish, kind of like in A Link to the Past. He's like, you're probably better off just going to do something else real quick. Like go over to that mine that the humans made. Explore that, go for the fire element, and then come back after you're done. It should be done by then. And we're like, all right, cool. So we leave. It's pretty quick in and out here at Malari's mine.
And also a very quick little jaunt over to the mine, which is awfully convenient that's where one of the things that we need is. Oh yeah, why don't you just go get that other thing you're gonna need later anyways? We'll take care of the sword.
Yeah.
It's like, yes.
And I thought it was interesting that we actually go back to regular size for this one, whereas the forest shrine, we were minish size the whole time. This one, we actually not only grow before we go into it, but while we're in it, we do a little bit of shrinking and growing to make our way through. So,
and you would think this place would
cool.
be like something, it's a mine, right? So you'd be like, oh, like Krenel mine, Mineru mine, or something, human mine. I don't know. But no, it's called the Cave of Flames. Like,
Yeah.
what? So sinister for being a mine. Like, are you sure this was a mine once?
Right. Well, here's the thing. Like, Mount Krenel is a volcano, like an active volcano. And it seems like the humans built this mine, and you can tell by like the first section of the mine that it is actually a mine. Like there's mine carts and ways in and out to like deliver the things that you pulled out of the walls. And then you go a little deeper into the cave, and it's just lava everywhere.
That is a volcano.
That's the best part of the cave.
It's like
that's where the diamonds are.
I get the feeling like this was maybe they started digging before they knew it was a volcano, and then came across lava and were like, "Oh no, we can never come back here." And that's
but not only did the humans dig though, and the humans, they built some stuff there. The Minish also digged and built some stuff here. There's like little doorways, little stuff like this. So the Minish also had like a little base of operations in here at one point as well. Or maybe they still do. I don't know.
Maybe they stopped because they can't walk over tracks.
Yeah, I mean, that is a possibility.
No. What got me?
4 nations lived in harmony.
What got me?
Put these confounded things on the ground.
0 cents, guys. 0 cents. You come to a point, so you go a little ways in the dungeon, and you end up finding a Minish statue to become small.
Yeah.
So you go a ways through being small. You kind of go through some enemies and yada yada yada, which I guess we can get into because I'm pretty sure that we went into Mario for a little bit in this dungeon. But you go a little ways in, and you come up to this place where there's some stairs and like a place you can jump down. And as a Minish, you're small, but like you try to go down the stairs, which you think would make the most sense because it's like less height for you to jump down, so you can like easily get down this. Nah, little Link just jumps like 6 feet off a ledge and lands perfectly, but is too scared to go down a flight of stairs. Like what?
It'd be true.
Yeah.
That did happen. I remember thinking that was also weird.
Little Link can't do much unless he's on the magnifying glass screens. It's really the cameraman's fault. He can't really see what he's doing.
I'm glad they let him roll, though.
Yeah,
that is nice.
It is nice. Oh, what about?
Yeah.
I mean, pretty soon into it, we're gonna run into a minecart, and we're gonna realize that there's like some minecart riding. But how you guys like that? That on repeat yell sound effect constantly. It was pretty great, actually.
I love how the first minecart you come up to, Eslo's like, "Yeah, why don't you try jumping into that? I mean, how dangerous could it be?" And then you get into it, and it just rockets off.
Yes,
completely self-propelled, like mag train of a mining cart. It's like, what did they used to do when they were mining here? Like, this is ridiculous.
The mine carts that use your life force to go faster.
Yeah.
And apparently Lakitu from Mario came into this dungeon at some point because he left some of his bomb-ombs out here, and he also left some of his spiky beetles out here because there's both from Mario, and it's like, what?
Did happen. That was a thing.
And you even beat him the same way. You knock him over and then hit him.
Right. It's super strange.
Well, speaking of knocking things over.
Whoa.
Well, actually, there's a couple things I want to talk about before that. But, yeah, I mean, first you use your shield, right? Like, you come at you just kind of shield block them, and then they fall over, and then you can hit them. And the game actually makes you do that to get through one of the earlier rooms. You have to figure out how to defeat these things.
I just blew them up.
Cool. Or you could do that, I guess, if you got the bombs. Yeah.
I use the shield a lot in this dungeon.
Yeah, the other big mechanic that they brought in, other than the minecarts, was this Rolobite enemy, which is like a potato bug that comes next to the lava. Yeah, you slash them and they roll up into a ball, and then you use that ball to clog up holes. And usually the holes are in some critical position that you either need to walk over or, pull something over or whatever. And then they brought back some of the old classics, like jumping into tornadoes to kind of glide across gaps and stuff. So
yeah, over lava too.
Right. If it wasn't tense enough out on the outside of the mountain, now you're doing it over lava. So don't mess up.
I love how he had to specifically tell us to be afraid of lava too. Like, I don't think we got a warning about water, but you lose the same amount of health no matter what. So, but he feels like probably a bad idea to go in the lava. Like, oh, thanks, Chief. That was a close one. I was gonna go for a dip. Like, come on.
Like, you sure that's not water, Enzo?
Right. I just thought him having to stop and have a whole little conversation just to point out lava's like bad was kind of funny.
It's like, as though there's not much I know in this world. Bombs explode and bright things taste good. Just let me have my moment, Eslo.
Just one sip.
All right. And eventually we get to this room where we find the dungeon's mini boss. Or bosses, I guess.
Can hardly call that a mini boss.
Listen,
it's true.
It's Jeff's old gang, all right? He's seeking revenge, clearly. We get a bunch of these spiky choo-choos. I believe it's a set of 8, a nice round number of spiky choo-choos.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, pull up your shield. Wait for him to not be spiky. Go at it. And win yourself a cane of Pacci.
You think I used the shield for this fight? That's insane. When they're not spike balls, you use your family's secret technique, Fonz. You charge it up until they're not, and you one-shot them. All DPS all day, boy.
Even when they spiky, though.
Did one spin attack and won the whole thing.
One spin attack will either stun them when they're spiky so you can start hitting them, or it will just straight end them if they're not spiky.
Oh.
So spin is super strong. But it's really annoying how long you have to charge it in this game. It feels unnaturally long. You have to hold it down for like 1.5 full seconds in order to get a swing attack.
Yeah. There's a mechanic we haven't gotten to yet that uses the spin attack mechanic. And it only kind of explains why it lasts so long. It really shouldn't. It really shouldn't last that long. But what can I say? I didn't design the game.
Yeah, right. So I played a lot of Zelda games in my day, and usually spin attacks are like 0.75 to 1 second long to charge. This one feels like it's like 1.5 times as long.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But it still does, the damage you expect from this family secret technique.
Right. Just like
it's got the spice.
Blade taught us.
And then we get our amazing item that flips stuff over.
Right.
Oh boy.
Okay, so
head
I
exploded.
Cane of Pacci. I've already kind of thrown my hat into the ring. How did you guys pronounce this thing?
It's the cane of Pacci. What are you talking about?
Okay. Nice.
It's just Pacci, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pacci.
Pacci, cane of Pacci. Who must have been like a circus performer. I'm not entirely sure who Pacci was.
No.
But it kind of falls.
He's got a nice cane, though.
I know. It's got the naming convention of the other canes from previous games, the cane of Berna and the...
What I want to know
but still
is who, what, why was there a magician in the mines in the first place? Like, did the miners get bored and then they're like, we need Bob, we need him to put on this magic show. Quick, get Pacci, Bob Pacci over here. We need his magic. Like, I don't understand why there's just a random cane in the in the mines.
Bob Pacci, he was just a magician on the side. It was his cane that flipped stuff over they needed because Steve over in the mining section can't not flip these things on a basically daily basis. Steve's terrible at driving them things. I mean, you see how fast they go?
Listen, Robert Pacci.
Canonical.
Listed by the mining company specifically to flip over heavy things in minecarts that had been overturned. He's completely vital to this company. And aside from his daring acrobatics where he can jump in and out of holes, he is crucial to this to the safety of our employees.
Robert Pacci, university holder degree, got a thesis on flipping things over, developed a cane to flip things over, ended up in the mines.
Engineered himself. But he loved the mines so much that by the age of 72, when he retired, he left his trusty old cane there for the next one that wanted to take up his mantle.
Little did they know that would be the end of it. Because once Steve grabbed Bobby Pacci's cane.
Oh no.
First thing he did was overflip the only rock keeping the lava from exploding through.
Freaking Steve. Worst employee. Don't be a Steve.
Don't be a Steve. Be a
Don't be a Squidward.
I like to think that Steve got maybe Bob had some more magic and maybe Steve got turned into a like. And that's the like in the beginning, the guy who mugs you. Yeah, that's just Steve.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that thing did kind of pop up out of nowhere. I was trying to see what my R button did when I wasn't moving because I was like, what does this do? And I wasn't rolling. And all of a sudden I'm being just consumed by a like. I'm like, where did this thing even come from?
Bob out here turning people into likes.
Steve almost got me. He stole 5 money.
That is the first like in the game, isn't it?
Oh, I think so. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of money just sitting on the ground. One of them happens to be a like. Man, the mines are treacherous. I don't know why anybody ever worked there.
There's even tornadoes in there. Whew.
I know. You think that's because of the heat differential between the lava and the cold air above?
Oh, there you go. Except there's a couple floating over nothing but lava. I guess those ones are just weird. That's some cold lava right over there.
Physics, man. They don't apply in video games.
Hey, I know it's true.
All right.
But this was a pretty fun dungeon overall, though.
Yeah. So, Cane of Pacci introduces some new mechanics for us. We can flip generally anything, that the developers wanted us to flip over. So, that is mine carts. There's an overturned mine cart right before we get the cane, so that's kind of your hint. You can, those little spike beetles that Mayo was talking about, you can flip them real easy with the Cane of Pacci. Sometimes there's a platform going through lava that's got spikes on it, and that's no good. So you got to flip that joint over so you get the smooth side.
Flip it.
And then you can stand on it.
Tell them about the holes, Fonz.
And then the last one is you can throw the Cane of Pacci magic into a pit in the ground, like a hole in the ground. Under Eslo's advice, hey, why don't you use the cane on that hole? You never know what could happen. I feel like Eslo knows a little more than he's letting on. So you do this, and you jump into it, and because of the condensed magic that you've trapped in the hole, and just gravity coming to a point of unity, and all kinds of crazy physics magic that I can't fully explain or comprehend, you go rocketing skyward when you try to go into a hole that's full of magic.
Kinetic energy, man.
Link was made for this moment. We've talked about Link being a flip wizard acrobat in this game, and he's about it. He's basically Pacci's descendant. We are now Link Pacci, and
Link Pacci confirmed.
Link was born to jump out of holes.
we huzzah our way up onto taller platforms with this method, and it is fantastic. Probably my favorite item in the game is the cane of Pacci, not gonna lie.
I mean, it's pretty cool. It's got a good rap already.
It is very cool, but it's so silly. You get a cane and it just says it flips stuff over. Like, I could not help but laugh out loud when I got it. I mean, I figured it would be a cool item, but at the same time, just that's such a weird, bland description for an item. It flips stuff over.
It flips stuff over. Forget about it.
Flips stuff. Yeah, exactly. You flip it, you forget it. That's what we're doing over here.
This is the Flippin' Islands.
Okay.
No, I just like immediately thought. I mean, we already went over it. Why is there a cane in the middle of a volcano? Who? What magician? I mean, it's got to be Mr.
We just
Pacci,
told you the
Bob
story
Pacci.
of Robert Pacci.
I know we went over the story, but like, why? You know, don't leave your belongings in a volcano, man.
Listen, Bob retired, okay? You see how well they cleaned out the rest of the mine. They must have decided that the cane wasn't that valuable when they went to leave.
I mean, give it to your grandson or something. Don't leave it in a volcano.
Give it to your grandson.
Make little Timmy Pacci flip over houses. I don't know.
I want to flip stuff, Dad. Would still need it, but Steve, being Steve.
Oh, you're going to be a professional basketball player, Tommy.
All right. just cane of Pacci straight to the hoop.
Yeah, just flip it up into the hoop.
No.
Yo, is that the new Air Pacci's?
No. No.
Oh, the Minish got them.
Them new Air Pacci's. Bobby Pacci had that deal with Nike.
This entire episode's been a tangent.
It's great. This is fantastic. Everything we've said so far is golden canon.
It's golden canon. Someone
this
called
the new Minish Cap Cannon.
Oh my goodness. All right, so with our fancy new cane of Pacci, we can do more rollerbite puzzles, go through some mazes, do some lava platforming.
Wait, hold up. We gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it because this is a mechanic in the boss fight later. Okay, we gotta talk about it. We can't not talk about it. We gotta talk about it. Okay, so there's fire that's burning on the ground, right?
Oh yeah,
just lava fire that's burning on around, like actual lava, like lava fire lava on the ground. And Link comes by with his little baby sword that his grandfather made for him. Probably iron, not that special, just like a plain old like iron short sword. And Link just comes by with Mach lightning force speed, swings his sword, and clears out all of the fire lava. Like, huh? Sorry? What?
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, first of all, that's a smith sword you're talking about.
Oh.
Master Smith is like the top sword maker in all of Hyrule, aside from maybe the Minish. In fact, I think that's exactly how they describe him. Second of all, we have now trained twice with the sword master himself.
Listen.
What?
For Link swinging a iron sword, putting out lava fire that's on the ground, there better be sonic booms from his swings. That's all I'm saying.
All I'm saying is, have you ever dueled a man using a smith sword with 2 tiger scrolls?
No, I have not.
2 tiger scrolls.
My dude's rocking 2 tiger scrolls. I mean, what you gonna do about that? No, but seriously, I actually don't think we even have the second tiger scroll yet.
No, I don't remember
getting the second one.
With 1 tiger scroll?
With 1? That's all he needs.
Yeah, no. I mean, listen, they're pixels. It's gonna be okay.
See, there's actually this whole animation of him just like slowly pushing the lava pool all the way over to the closest lava pool and just getting it in there. But they just decided to skip it every time because it would take way too long to show it to you. So it's just assumed that he does that.
What he's doing, he's actually swiping up a little bit of dirt and just kind of snuffing the fire out with
Just
it.
snuffs it out.
There you go.
Hey, a nice attention to detail that I did notice was after like 3 pushes of anything you can push or pull, Link actually gets red in the face. Nice little like animation they did there. I just noticed it for the first time this dungeon.
A lot of attention to detail in this game. Like unseemly amounts of attention to detail. But I mean, I guess that makes sense for a game where you're supposed to shrink down and then have like detailed worlds that are tiny, micro. But yeah, all good things. So we dig a little deeper into this cave until we find our way into the boss room, and what do we get except for a room with a big old hole in the floor?
Yeah.
And
I was
immediately feels like a callback to a lot of bosses we've already fought.
Yeah, I was getting that Dodongo vibes. I was like, is the king down there though?
I mean, it
And
looked
that
like
King
it. Right?
Dodongo?
It even looked like the whole same pit with the lava pool right in the middle, all around the outsides. I'm like, is this really gonna be just King Dodongo again?
Dad Dodongo down there?
I mean, but nah, you know.
It
No.
wasn't. It was the Glee Rock.
That ain't no Gleeok. That's his third cousin, Glee Rock.
Glee
Don't
Rock.
get confused.
Yeah.
He only does taijutsu.
I mean, he's got ninjutsu, my guy. Got lava ninjutsu. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, he do. My bad.
His apparently I had to look this up because I didn't remember seeing a title screen for this guy. So I went to the wiki page and it tells you what the description on his little figurine is. If you were to get this figurine from the figurine guy,
Whoa.
that's what the mysterious shells are for. Or you know, if you have Wikipedia, then you don't really have to do that.
Whoa.
But according to the description, it shoots fire at everything it sees. That's not the whole description. That's just the only part of the description that I cared about.
Hey.
Basically gives a description of what it looks like visually, but I mean, we all saw it. And then it says, it shoots fire at everything it sees.
Doesn't like anything.
Which is probably why there's nothing else in the cave. But it's also very convenient that it's living in a little lava puddle in a hole where there's not much to see.
Or eat.
Yeah. He lives in the lava probably to reduce the amount of fire he actually shoot. It seems like a pretty reckless life, honestly. Shoot fire at everything you see.
It's pretty lonely life shooting fire at everything that comes towards me.
Just one day I'd like to get out of this cave and see the blue skies and the clouds, but I know I would be shooting fire endlessly at everything I saw.
Including the blue skies.
I'd burn the world down. If only I could see it.
Stuck in a hole.
So a little more canon to the Glee Rock that we got here is from the Minish Cat manga. Because I've been like looking at these, and it's kind of like the legend, the Link to the Past ones. Like it adds kind of like that backdrop that we don't get from the game, and Akira Himikawa, not Akira Toriyama. You know, we got the Akira Himikawa as the manga creator. It says Gleeok was cursed by Vati prior to his battle with Link. Once defeated, Gleeok turns back into his true form, a softer, nicer, plesiosaur-like creature who does not spit. I added that part. Does not spit fire at everything. The newly transformed Gleeok then gives Link the fire element. So we don't technically kill him in the manga, but here I think we do end him.
Well, you know, I mean, he goes off screen, I think. He might explode or something, but then the lava dries up.
He might explode, we don't know.
That was all the badness inside him exploding, actually.
He was purified and then solidified in the lava. You know, he's living his best life down there.
He's really tired. He's got to hibernate. There's a lot of fire, you know.
Yeah. He closed his eyes, stopped spitting fire because he couldn't see nothing.
Was there just one heart piece in this dungeon?
2.
Yeah, there was the one that you got in the minecart area.
Yeah, by blowing up the south wall in that one room.
And if there was another one, I don't remember it.
Well, 2 total, like 2, like 1, and then the boss one.
Oh yeah, there's a heart container, but there's only one piece. Okay,
Yeah.
just making sure. Because I only found the one. It was really hard to miss. And I'm like, I feel like there's something here, but maybe
They
not.
show it immediately, and then you just have to remember to look for a room in that direction. Ends up just being a bomb wall, and it's totally chill.
And, I feel really bad about opening that chest with 100 rupees in it, considering I had 100 rupees and I didn't buy the bigger bag. So I was like, hey, nothing.
Oof.
I made sure to double back and get the bigger bag before going into this dungeon for that exact reason. I'm like, listen, I don't want to waste whatever rupees I find in there. Let me go ahead and get that wallet.
Yeah, I'll just cut down grass for 2 hours. It's fine. We'll get there.
For it. Oh man. But yeah, we get the fire element. So guys, I don't know if you knew this, but flames bring light to darkness and warmth to all.
Oh,
Whoa.
bars.
Prophetic.
And the fire element is, the manifestation of those powers, and we have it now.
So we can breathe fire?
I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this out there. I'm pretty sure that earth element was like the essence of life to all beings, and like this one's like, yeah, it's light and it's warm. Like, so these elements are not equals, is what I'm hearing. Like, one of them is like ethereal power of creation, and the other one's like, yeah, it's alright.
It's
good.
hot and light and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good things. It's just, it is what it is.
I mean, theoretically, it could just like burn everything, though. If it got out of control.
Right.
Use a destructive element that's just a very undertoned. They just don't talk about that part.
Campfire, yes. Glee rock, no.
Yeah, right.
Kind of makes sense that Glee Rock would have it, though. He's a big fan of flames. But yeah, we could take this thing back out of the dungeon, get it back over to Malari's mine, and he will. Well, he actually doesn't do anything with the element, but he did finish repairing the sword. But it's not the same. It's not the Minish blade anymore. It's the white sword, I believe, is what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Which kind of sounds like the white sword that we got in Skyward Sword, right? Isn't it like the white goddess sword or something like that? Isn't that what they call it?
Yeah.
So Fujibayashi at it again, referencing his own stuff in his later games.
It also looks like the sword. Is it the silver sword, or it might very well be the white sword in the first Legend of Zelda 2. The white and blue sword. Yeah. I don't remember which one that one was called. It could be silver sword, but I don't remember.
Gotcha. So he tells us that in order to restore the blade, we'll have to get the 4 elements and imbue them into the blade. Turns out these 4 elements, when Vati like ripped the sword out of the box in the beginning, I believe these elements all scattered, and that's kind of what we saw leave the box. And then now we're recollecting them to re-infuse them in the sword. So he instructs us to go to this place. I believe it's called the Elemental Sanctuary, located in Hyrule Castle. And so that's our next mission, is to go there and start infusing some elements, because we don't have to do them all at once.
Nice. Looking forward to another Tiger Scroll too.
Yeah, there's a couple things to do in town. I think honestly our next episode is going to be it's going to be not a true run-up episode, because we actually get a pretty significant side quest and a couple of like just a lot of random little things that we can do around Hyrule Town, like between dungeon areas. So that's what I'm thinking for next episode, is that we'll just kind of focus on the next couple story beats without going into like an actual dungeon location. But you know, that's we'll have to decide that offline. You know, like we'll table that for now. We'll get back to that.
We shall discuss it
in detail right here, right now.
Mm-hmm. Grab more kinstone pieces.
Oh, I love opening chests and get kinstone pieces. I love when I get a chest and it's like, oh, you want a thing that helps you unlock a collectible little thing you can look up on Wikipedia? Oh, yeah. Woo, it's a great chest. Yeah, I love this.
Mysterious shells, man. The best
kinstone pieces make me happy.
It completes people's hearts.
Like,
I can't wait.
Kinstone piece, and then you fuse it with somebody, and then you get the mysterious shells. Oh, man. Now we're talking.
Next level.
I can't wait to take the kinstone piece that I found in a chest, and when I was all happy, I got filled with happiness when I saw that kinstone piece, and then I get to go find somebody with a twinkle in their eye and just surprise them with another kinstone piece to share with their kinstone piece, and then they get happy, and now I get to have shared my happiness with someone else. By golly gee, it just warms my heart.
Instant best friends for life. What's going on here?
That's how that works. If you're an adult and you don't know how to make friends, try kinstones.
Can you imagine? Go to your local coffee
we are
shop.
not medical professionals.
Yo, bro, I got this kinstone piece. Just like, what?
Use kinstone pieces at your own risk. Side effects include.
Okay. But guys, that's technically our episode. Unless you guys played further, I don't know if y'all did. I did, but that's just I was trying to get a head start.
I just went back to Castletown. I took the shortcut because I tried to go back the other way to get the big bomb bag, and it turns out there's a room you get to eventually with blocks that you could push out of the way from the other way, but you can't go back. And so I had to run, back to the shortcut, which was no longer at all a shortcut for me. It was actually quite the long cut that the game could have told me I couldn't go back the other way. And then I got down to Hyrule Castle, and I was like, I'm gonna save.
Yeah. Yeah.
That happened.
One thing I did want to mention, one detail that we didn't talk about before, but I feel like it's worth talking about now. If you go onto the fandom wiki for this game, you know how they be. It's kind of like going to one of the, actual, like, Zelda websites, but it's like a fandom wiki. Anyway, they make a mention that it's like unconfirmed theory, right? And like they threw this up there. And their theory was that the mountain Minish were based on the seven dwarves because they mine and they sing while they mine, and there's seven of them. And
in that all dwarves,
like, not one of them, kind of. I don't know. I didn't really like I get what they're saying because it seems like anytime there's Minish, there's some kind of reference going on in this game, and we'll talk more about that next episode a little bit. But I also didn't quite agree. I did though think about how there's seven of these little dudes, and how usually we get seven wise men or seven sages or seven whatevers. And from these seven dudes, we get three that are, well, we actually get two and then Malari. So it's not really, I don't even know why I call that a group of three. But either way, seven guys, and then we're trying to repair a sword. Like, there's clearly some themes that have been reused since this game about that whole deal. I mean, A Link to the Past, you repair your sword. Like, you forge it to make it stronger. It's not really a repair, but I feel like this whole concept of like, you have a damaged piece of legendary equipment and we're just gonna fix it using supernatural powers at play has kind of been a pretty regular Legend of Zelda theme, and I feel like this was the first time it was a hard focus on the main story. You know what I mean? But
yeah. Because, like, even in the most recent one, Tears of the Kingdom, like, you got some ancient arm some ancient tech piece that helps you towards your goal. You might not be repairing it, but
yeah,
there is the theme of powerful items being given to Link, and a lot of times you do got to fix them up first. It's kind of like a scaler.
Yeah.
That's a pretty sick picture you put in Discord too, Mayo.
Oh, yeah. For those who can't see it, it appears to be fan art of Gleerock blasting flame across his little chamber while Link is observing, I guess. It doesn't look like the
look like he just got there.
Yeah.
He's like, whoa. I'm guessing that's from the manga.
How to defeat the boss.
Oh, that's a good point.
Whoops.
Well,
speaking of Gleerock,
he's a big turtle in a pretty small lava pit. He's got a long neck he tries to bite you with, and he blows fire and all that. But he's got a big, solid mass of himself lodged right in the middle of it, and it's got it's got spikes on it that are very reminiscent of something we've been flipping over in lava recently. So it's like, I wonder if I should give that the old Pacci.
Yeah. He's basically just a Kane Pacci skill shot boss.
Yeah. Then he goes down easy. You run out on his back, smack him a few times, do that 3 times, and he's at it.
Yeah. He definitely a cool visual design for a boss. What with the blues and all.
He is cool. Too easy.
Yeah, pretty
too easy. Yeah.
He's like one of my favorite designs. One of the simplest fights.
I don't know. Jeff is pretty easy.
Jeff.
I mean,
he's the first boss of the game, though.
Yeah. Jeff was coming up in the world. All right, we just caught him at a bad time. He wasn't at yet.
We ended his whole career.
We didn't let him cook.
He hadn't quite figured out how to use the earth element yet. He just got it. He got all the street cred. He wasn't ready for us.
Yo, you hear about Jeff though?
He didn't have that 3-movie trilogy.
Nah. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out. Whew. Thank you all for listening to our episode of A4NB4Y. This has been our Cave of Flamesisode. And next episode, we'll probably be doing some town stuff. So y'all have a good couple of weeks, and we'll catch you next time on A4NB4Y.
Did you get all that?